Welcome back, everybody, at AGOHP Real. Today we're talking about a really important topic, as usual, unedited, real content out of my universe to yours, with the goal to lift up yours, obviously. So I want to speak about health adversities. So basically, when your health goes wrong, how does this generally happen? What happened to me? Why am I talking out of my own experience? It's an incredibly important video because that really completely changed my life, turned it around 180 degrees when I was 29 years old, 5 years ago. So I have to go back to my 12th year. When I was 12 years old, I suddenly had stomach pain, and over a couple of months that stomach pain was consistent, got worse and got worse and got worse, and I lost, without knowing it, I'm 12 years old, I was a kid, I lost a significant amount of blood internally over 9 months, and then simply woke up in the hospital with a bunch of tests for a week, and pang, they found out I have some autoimmune disease which makes my immune system destroy cells internally within my body. And that was obviously a massive shock to my parents. And yeah, so since more than 20 years, I'm fighting with a disease, and that's just one of them. There's actually 3 in total that really kept me on my toes throughout most of my adult life, and which is also one of the reasons why I don't smoke shisha, cigarettes, why I don't drink alcohol, and why I follow an incredible focused and disciplined diet, as you probably see on my stories sometimes. So before I get into how this can be avoided, I think I want to go in how this all started potentially for me, because until my 8th year, when I was 8 years old, I was still living at home, but from 8 years old onwards, I went to a boarding school in Germany, and I stopped eating at home the majority of the week. I still visited home on the weekends mostly, but the majority of my food source and my environment became completely different to my parents' home. My mom was very focused on what I eat, of course, but in the boarding school, it was way less focused. And I think this is exactly where my health adversity came from, because I was a professional gymnast from 4 years old. I had unlimited energy. Like, I would train for 4 hours and then go on the football field for 3 hours, and then still do handstands and go inline skating, and every day, all day, 12 hours a day, I could just do extremely hard sport, and I was never tired. I could just keep going. So I'm pretty sure that this health adversity, that my immune system took a turn onto my own body, it did come from a change of my environment, and specifically a change of my diet. It was a huge kitchen. They cooked for hundreds of students. So I'm pretty sure they did cut corners to save money. And this is exactly where we're getting to, and this is exactly what is causing most of the health adversities today. It's making food last longer, and it's making food cheaper, so that you brokies can buy more garbage. And of course, it's not only about making it cheaper, it's also about making it more tasty, more addictive. So your brain tells you, I want more, right? So that is really important for you to understand. Whenever your brain tells you, I want more food, and it repeats it all the time, then you're probably eating the wrong things, because it's simply elevating your dopamine instead of elevating your health. And that's the goal. So this is how my health adversity started over 20 years ago. And it wasn't until I was 29 that I actually did find a proper solution. How can I actually make this disease disappear or go in the background? What do I need to do? Okay. And one of the absolute most important aspects, of course, was stepping away from any processed food. That made my life so much easier. Then I implemented fasting, so you reduce the impact of this processed food. So you just eat once a day or 2 times a day. You want to reduce your hours that you actually consume this garbage. And this is how I really started. So the first year and a half, I would just have 1 meal a day, and I would still eat garbage because I didn't really know better. But I did feel significantly better, guys. You can't imagine how much better I felt. It was insane. I really loved it. I lost 15 kilos of fat and I gained 12 kilos of muscle. Boom. While eating once a day, by still eating moderate protein, and by being on a high carb diet with pasta, pizza, and desserts. I didn't go to McDonald's, never a McDonald's guy, or drank Coca-Cola. And I also already stopped drinking alcohol. So all of this came together and I had incredible results. And from that on, I continued my journey into a human diet. Why do I call it a human diet? Because humanity throughout the seasons was actually forced to not consume carbohydrates throughout the entire year. If you don't live in the jungle, which is not a nice place to live for a human because you have pumas and lions and tigers and snakes and spiders trying to kill you all day, the majority of humans develop in the developed world is like in a colder environment. So we do have 4 seasons. And when you look at it, there is only carbs available throughout the summer, really, like maybe May, June, until September, October. And then all the nuts, all the fruits, all the vegetables, nothing is on the fields or hanging off the trees for you to consume anymore. And then is obviously only one source of calories, one source of energy left, which is coming from animals, the animal source. And this is what now I'm basing the majority of my diet on. It's actually very low carbohydrate focused, high fat, moderate protein, low carb. And it's been an incredible journey. I've done so many mistakes. I've ended up in the hospital due to electrolyte imbalances, and I've been to many different, I've tried out so many things because of course there is limited research, and then there is manipulated research because big pharma, big food, they want you to continue drinking Coca-Cola and go to McDonald's and be addicted to their product. So they actually pay scientists, they pay millions and millions of dollars to scientists to come up with excuses and very, very strange tests they do to tell you that Coca-Cola is good for you or cigarettes are good for you. And whatever conclusion they get to, even though it's really not. It's so simple, guys. If you look at the history of mankind and you just have a little bit of common sense left in your brain, you're not a retard. You're not stupid. You still have some brain left. Then we can agree that probably no apple 150, 200 years ago was hanging off a tree in December when it's 5 degrees outside. Can we agree to that? Is there another tree with fruits in December than an apple tree? No. So what does it tell you? God limited the production of carbohydrates because they actually kill you. And look at the majority of death in the Western world comes from heart disease, comes from cancer. Well, and that is very much coming on with that massive carbohydrate production. This death cause increased massively as well. There's a correlation. Correlation? Yeah, my English. Sorry, gents, I'm a German dude trying to speak smart in English. Well, and this is when it clicked for me. But even following a low carbohydrate diet, because you want low inflammation and you want to get great nutrition to live a long, healthy, fulfilled life, it's not all. This is just one base. You will realize that we never drank as much water back then than we do today, because where back then was a clean water source? How did we actually hydrate as a human being 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, when not everybody was digging 50-meter wells and took the water from the bottom after nature filtered out all the garbage, right? How did we eat? Well, how did we actually hydrate? Fruits, vegetables, and animal protein. Well, guys, what is in animal protein that is an incredible source of minerals and specifically sodium? What is within you? 7 liters I have, probably something like that. 7 liters of that. What is this incredible hydrating source of minerals and nutrition that is within all of us and every animal out there? Ta-da! It is blood. This is why you shouldn't completely cook your steak to death. Yes, there could be bacteria on it, but I've eaten my steak rare for 5 years. In hotels, in restaurants, street food, making it myself on the barbecue, whatever. Cooking 1 minute on each side was completely enough to get rid of any bacteria, because if the steak actually doesn't smell bad, it's very unlikely there's any bacteria in it or on it, regardless. So guys, this is how we hydrated, correct? How else did we hydrate in the winter when you can't dig a well, the ground is frozen, there is no fruits, vegetables, coconuts on the trees? Just think about it. Of course, we did catch animals, and of course, we also drank a significant amount less water, right? Just think, we can't drink 5 or 7 liters a day, because from where? Where do we get a non-bacteria clean water source of 7 liters per day for every human that was alive back then? And you have to compete with all the animals, they need water too. So you take it from the animals, you take the nutrition out of the blood, the minerals out of the blood, and actually when you consume water with it, what I love to do, what you see in my videos sometimes, I add this high quality salt into my water, coffee, etc., whatever I drink, mostly water and coffee, and this helps your cell, that helps your body to actually combine that water within the cell. That's where you want the water to be. If there is no minerals in the water, your kidneys will just reject it because your cells can't absorb it. And the funny part on top of it is that now the minerals that are within your cell will try to bind with that water you're pushing through the body, and it will actually dehydrate you. This is why in a pizza from Papa John's or whatever, you will find 6,000 milligrams of sodium. That's multiple teaspoons of salt. It's crazy. But because you're drinking empty water from all these plastic bottles without minerals, they pump it into you with all the processed food. Because otherwise, we'd be all dead by now, because the water is dead. It has no minerals, no electrolytes. All our muscles, our nervous system couldn't function without it. So the fasting, removing processed food, eating a low carb, natural human diet, and finding the right electrolyte balance, that was a massive, massive challenge for me. And then you're gonna get into a new whole level with your microbiome, because after removing all this garbage, your microbiome is going to start breathing, your body's going to start breathing, your brain is going to start functioning, remembering stuff again. One of the differences I can feel the low carb to high carb diet the most is my memory and my capability to remember my multiple languages that I speak. Most of my day is actually in English, 98% of it. And I'm not from the UK, I'm from Germany. My mother tongue is still German. So for me to be capable to speak professional to you guys, eating low carb is actually significantly important, because my memory and my brain is just sharper. it just functions properly. It doesn't let me down. I don't forget stuff. It's just really switched on. And I love it that way. And when I go off this human diet, I lose that ability and it pisses me off. So I just always go back. There is days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, a year, where I'm not 100% disciplined with my diet, but to be honest with you guys, I always regret it. I always miss that good feeling, that lightness, that sharpness. And I still can hit the gym hard. I can still completely function normally like everybody else. The only difference is I do fight my immune system. I keep it more stable. I keep it calm. I keep it I make it stop attacking my own body. Also, getting in good shape. It makes me, with a lot of ease, be in good physical condition. For you guys, it's way harder when you're eating a high carb diet to be in good shape, look in the mirror and love yourself. It's easy to love myself when you look that way and you have these incredible results. And of course, fasting saves you a lot of time and money because you need to organize yourself less. One large meal a day, it's enough for you. And it also saves you money, of course, because you go out less to eat, or you just don't need to shop as much as before. It's funny that you can eat less and spend less time and spend less money on this food resource, which is super important, but actually get greater results. You should try it out. It's nuts. It actually works, right? So these are just some thoughts from me. Adding in some supplements is obviously great, but if you do eat if you have the right diet, you do not necessarily need too much supplements other than the electrolytes. Even some people can completely live without the electrolytes. I cannot. I do get muscle cramps. I do get tired if I do not add sodium, etc., magnesium. So I take some magnesium. I supplement my salt. I use Celtic sea salt, which does a really good job for me. Works the best as it has the highest mineral count that I could find. And I do also add some potassium into my electrolyte drinks, but only morning and evening, not over the day, as I usually consume a lot of avocado, so that covers that part normally. But this is obviously a long-term journey. I've just summarized you 5 years of me getting in better shape, feeling better, making my brain work better, making my disease, my inflammation, my autoimmune disease get better, significantly better. So for everyone, there's a different journey. I just wanted to record this video for you guys so you do not need to have this health adversities that I've been going through for the last 20 plus years. You guys should already take action before this happens. You don't need to go through internal bleeding for 10 years like I did and almost die multiple times, and not being able to go to school, not being able to do your sport anymore, and being stuck at home for years, not having friends, etc. It's quite depressing. I don't suggest it to anyone. It's quite painful. It's really annoying. So remember this, take this video as advice, take your first step now and get into intermittent fasting. This is the first thing I did. I didn't jump into 24 hours straight. I just did it over like 2-3 weeks and pushed my first meal back, stopped the alcohol, stopped the cappuccinos, just do espressos and start drinking water that actually lives by adding a little bit of salt. Don't go over the top at the beginning. Find like your balance, how it makes you feel good, and be surprised. Honestly, guys, it's gonna be fucking awesome to be feeling like me on a daily basis. You will see. Please put your results, put your questions down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of my experiences of this video. Share it with your friends, anyone that is overweight, has diabetes, is struggling with any diseases. This video can be helpful for them. Share it with them, tell them to reach out to me. I'm very happy to tell more of my experience here down in the comments, or just DM me on Instagram. Thank you for watching, and I see you guys on the next one of AGOHP. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.